Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Let Me Finish, the podcast where two sisters discuss different topics, debate, cut each other off, and at the end of every episode, we end up laughing. So it's all good. I'm one of your hosts, Janice.
I'm Jillian.
All right, guys, so let's jump right in. So, again, if you've been tuning in, you know that we have been reviewing Love Island season 8, and we are episode 26. So, this is an episode coming off the second part of movie night. So, they actually cut it up
Mhm.
into two parts. Um, and this is the fallout, and a couple more clips happen, but mostly the fallout of movie night. Okay.
Mhm.
So we'll just jump right in. All right. So ending movie night coming in part two. It comes in to Corbin because I think they ended the last episode with Melanie crying. So
Mhm.
she was been boohooing, but not making any
She
changes.
stayed.
So
She was stoic, but she was
yeah, I
hurt.
was really sad for her. It made me really sad. But Corbin is, um, it's his scenes. Corbin's quite pleased with himself overall. He's
Mhm.
laughing at most of it. He was disrespectful. Um, the crazy part is, I can't. I'm not as mad at Corbin as I am
Mhm.
everybody else. For some reason, I feel like Corbin's a bit been pretty upfront about who he is and what he's
Yep.
looking for, and his wanting to explore, and he
Mhm.
stands on everything he says. He's just like, what did I stand on everything. I could have been more tactful, and I'm sorry for being disrespectful. But overall, he's like, I felt everything I said, which was I wanted somebody else, and I was done with this connection.
Exactly. Mhm.
So yeah, and then Pormita and
Yeah,
Corbin, it's just like they
Corbin.
love talk about how good looking they are. It's crazy.
Yeah, but Corbin he hasn't changed up at all. He behaves exactly how I would expect him to behave.
Yeah.
Nothing was a surprise with Corbin.
Yeah, none of it was. And I guess this is when the girls finally see that he said, because it kind of blurs from a Corbin into a KC of it all, because Casey's
Mm.
also in this clip, and that's when they're talking about, that he doesn't have to beg at night anymore to get some attention and some kisses from women, and also that the whole college girls versus high school girls conversation
Mhm.
comes up, and then him saying he hasn't thought about Kenzie once again. Like, I
Yeah.
think he was just being
Mhm.
honest about how he felt.
Mhm.
So I was pretty like whatever, I guess, about the Corbin
Yeah.
part of it, but
Yeah.
um, yeah. And then it goes into Kenzie's scenes, which are much more difficult to see, only because it's a
Yeah,
girl.
and the girls, I mean, I honestly, like, once again, I don't think the clips were the order that were they're actually seen live in the villa were not the order that they were edited
Right.
in on the when we actually see on the television because Kenzie was really quiet even with the confrontation with Sincere and
Yeah,
Casey.
he was.
And I think because her scenes, I think honestly her and probably Corbin's scenes were probably one of the first scenes that were played.
Yeah.
And so and then it was um Sincere and then Casey, and things just got dramatically worse and worse and worse.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I think for me the biggest moment for part two is I think just seeing an absolute breakdown of Melanie.
Yeah.
And
She goes
Sincere was
in.
still trying to, well, what about when you were, trying to fill out a connection with Corbin? And Bryce pretty much had to tell him, dude, just say you're right. Like, let it go. You cannot defend yourself.
Yeah.
And this is also the moment seeing, because the first part of movie night was Soul, all the things that was said when he was exploring connection with Soul, and
Mm-hmm.
then the second part um was everything he did in Casa, and the guys are like, look, dude, you're lying to us too. You don't have to lie to us.
Right.
You're telling us one thing, telling
Yeah.
your connection a moral soul one thing, and you're telling Melanie another completely different things.
And later he says
And
I think that's the people pleasing in him. I think he just doesn't. I do think that part is the people pleasing in him. For whatever reason, he just always likes to look like the good guy and doesn't want to ever look like he's a bad guy.
then what's the point of lying to his friends, the guys?
Well, I think that's the people pleasing. He doesn't want to come off like a bad guy to his friends, and
Hmm.
it will please my friends to know that I'm still the good guy. I'm still a good moral compass for them, and
Yeah,
he's not.
yeah, yeah.
So,
And
go ahead.
I think that was what was hard for I think everyone, and I think that's why everyone was so gobsmacked and quiet. Is like they're all connecting. Damn, he lied to all of us. He lied
Right,
to everybody. Like
right.
we don't know the real sincere.
Yeah, I think even Bryce had to back his little he got ahead of his skis a bit when he was talking to
Hmm.
he's defending Sincere. And I think it's just cuz I can tell that him and Sincere has definitely gotten closer just because of the little clips that I see them
Hmm.
together. They got a little handshake. I'm like clearly they're closer now. And so I feel like
Hmm.
he was trying to defend him, but then as soon as he realized he was like, "Oh shit, okay, you're okay. You're not really making
Yeah,
this
you're
any
not the. I'm gonna have to
better."
let this one go.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I have to let it go and hey, just say you're right. Just say you're right because this is not
Yeah.
going anywhere. And
Hmm.
yeah, I think that it's good that even the guys are like, damn, yeah, that was wrong. So and
Hmm.
and, and after I was gonna go back to really quick, Kenzie and Corbin because I do feel like the girls they did not pacify Kenzie or like be like it's okay. They didn't do any of that. They were just like that looks bad. That
They're
looks really
like,
bad.
damn, Kenzie.
That's
They
bad.
were because they really do feel bad for Caleb.
Yeah,
They
and
really do.
Caleb
And
got his
then
little stuff off his chest, and I was happy for him for that.
yeah, and then also I think Dylan is like, if you're doing this on repeat, I'm like, facts.
Yeah, but I'm
He
like,
is.
but Dylan, I'm like, but you already knew that, Dylan. Hello,
Yeah,
you watched it
exactly.
before, like so you picked her,
Hmm.
so I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it happened to him, and you forgave her immediately, so it's kind of the same thing with Melanie. It's like at some point I can't feel bad for you anymore. It is what
Yeah.
you're choosing, and that's okay.
Hmm.
But don't involve me when it comes to being hurt,
Yeah.
because you already knew you were
And
gonna get hurt.
also because I also think with the conclude because really the conclusion of movie night was Melanie completely breaking down. She goes and she stands up. She's just like, you make me look like a fool. You make me look like a dummy because I keep picking you.
Yeah,
I
that's what
keep
Bryce
coming
said.
back.
Bryce was just like he was always gonna come back to you, and she's like, yeah, because I'm a fool.
Hmm.
And then that's when he
Yeah,
was like,
exactly.
oh no, 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 no. Okay, I'm gonna shut up.
Yeah, yeah, I think so.
And she goes
Yeah, because
plumb off
I,
on him and screams at him.
yeah, and they go upstairs and um
Anaya follows her.
so they all leave movie night. They go to, they're all talking, and then Anaya went upstairs with her, and she's just like, she broke down, and she's just like, I don't know why he keeps doing this, and I don't understand. I keep looking like a fool. I look like an idiot. I'm embarrassed. Rightfully so, and
And
she's just like,
Anaya's
no,
yeah, what is Anaya?
like, no, and I think she's processing too, because she did point out, she's just like, look, you guys, I thought you guys were my friends, and he was playing me, and you didn't tell me. Because she was made it sincere
Yeah,
too.
but
'Cause
she
she was like, I
folds on
thought you
that
were my.
too. She folds on that too. They
Yeah, she
I guess
does.
she folds on that immediately as well. But the fact that she's in the
Hmm.
dressing room, I felt like it was just a big difference in how Melanie handled Anaya's heartbreak versus Anaya handling Melanie's, and it's definitely giving who's the stronger woman. Not, I
Hmm.
mean, obviously, Melanie's having a weak situation right now with Sincere, but mind you, it's one moment, it's one relationship. I think
Hmm.
overall, Melanie's a strong woman, and her
Hmm.
telling Anaya like, no, you're gonna find you another one. That's a build a bear. You can do better. But she would have supported
Hmm.
her if she decided to try to pursue it still. But I
Yeah.
feel like the difference is Anaya is just like, I mean, he fooled everybody. It's okay. It's okay. He fooled
Yeah.
everybody. Now we know. And it's just like,
Yeah.
now we know, so it's okay. We can move on, move forward. I don't feel like, I mean, she does when she later talks to Sincere later, she does tell him, like, I'm disappointed in
I'm.
you. And I think a lot of it's
Hmm.
about speaking on her stuff of how she made him, like, he made her feel on her situation, not so much necessarily how she felt he treated Melanie because she's
Hmm.
always like she says it throughout the episode. I'm Team Sincere. I'm still gonna go for Sincere. I do believe you guys are meant to be together, and I'm just like,
Hmm.
what is up with you wanting your friend to be in this difficult situation with a person who continuously lies to her. Now, I'll go back on the other side of that. I do think this is also Love Island, and Sincere has not cheated on this woman. He has been unclear. He is not. I don't know if I would trust it, but I also they're not in a relationship. They're not exclusive. This is Love Island. I think it's just his dishonesty when you are allowed to explore is the problem, and it's scary to think what he'll do on the outside. And if Melanie wants to see for herself, that's completely on her.
Mhm. Yeah. So I think as far as I think right now, I think because there really isn't any, I can well be like, oh, just leave them. Like there really isn't any other options out there. So you kind of have to stay in that toxic
Yeah,
couple until another option comes through. And there just
there's
isn't
not gonna be.
these opportunity. There's no opportunities. She had her opportunity with Costa. So even if,
The biggest
because
opportunity was Corey.
it was Corey, you could have still brought Corey back and been exploring them both. Which one of y'all gonna treat me the best? That's what she should have done,
Right.
instead of, and she could have stood up and be like, this man is treating me like shit. He's done this, that, and the third. I've seen what I've seen the little bit of clips that he's been doing at Casa, whether he comes home with somebody or not. I'm gonna bring somebody because I need something better.
Right.
So whether you go with Corey because he treats you better, or Sincere steps up and treats you better and realize, hey, you're not the only person that is vying for my affection. And that's what she should have done and really played the game.
Well, I think so. Yes, I agree with that, but I do think that's kind of what got her in trouble in the beginning, is she wanted to keep her options open, and Sincere didn't really want to until like, because remember, like she had a couple little slip ups where he felt disrespected.
Mm,
Not really, though. Like later on, obviously, what he does is so much worse. But I feel
mm,
like when she was playing that game, because it was a game for her,
mm,
it
mm-hmm.
did not end well in her favor.
Yeah.
So I
She,
don't,
I
had
mean,
she not done all that back and forth with Corbin, had she not
hmm
been jumping up and down when Caleb came in, had she not been
she
like, I want to
definitely,
explore Caleb, I mean, not Caleb, Corbin, like it
hmm
might have gone different. And I think that
yeah, she was, I think they were definitely doing a tit for tat kind of thing in the
yeah,
beginning,
they were.
but, it is what it is,
And it all
but
started because he pulled Kata for a chat.
yeah.
It all
Which
started
is
there,
that
and it
was
was
dumb.
so innocent. Yeah, kind of the same thing
Mm,
that Anaya does when she even hears the idea of Casey wanting to pull somebody for a chat in the beginning. So
mm,
yeah, they
yeah,
definitely the girls had it a bit twisted on how this Love Island experience works from the beginning, except for
yeah,
Kenzie. Except for
yeah.
Kenzie.
So, and here's the thing.
Kenzie's still the girl.
So, yeah, I wish Kenzie was just she's the female version of Sincere. She's lying to everybody too. So I think
Yeah,
that's
she
that's
really
another thing
is.
too.
I
And
think she
there's no
is.
reason to lie. And then so for me, and
And for her to still say that she
just
doesn't
to
see it is crazy to me.
okay, and just to kind of wrap up part two of movie night, Kata, girl, you let Zach slide way too easily. So I'm just like, girl, you're
Always.
losing
She
gaudy
always
points with
does.
me.
It's done.
I'm just like, girl, what? You should have
She's
like
locked
laid
in that
into
thing.
him. Yeah, and I'm just
She's
like,
locked
girl, this
in.
man is playing in your face, and I don't understand why you don't check him.
Yeah.
I'm like, girl, that same smoke you have for everyone else, I need you to have that for Zach. Because Zach, after he told you I love you 3 times in bed, and then next day he like, it's a joke, man.
Yeah.
I've been hating Zach. So, but Kata, come on, girl, wake up. This man don't like you. He's there to play the game.
I do think
So,
he likes her the most. I just don't think he likes
Janice,
women. I do think he likes her the most. I
mm,
think if Zach wanted somebody else, he
okay.
would have already went for them a long time ago. I don't think Zach cares.
Anyways,
Yeah.
mm.
So
And
then we have
then also he also had Anaya come up when the guys were talking, come up to Casey and apologize for standing up
well, I was gonna
um
mm-hmm.
in his face. Me personally, she bet she a bigger person than me because I never would apologize for that shit because he stood up first and she told him and said it pretty much told him to sit his ass down.
That's why I feel like
But
I feel like
also,
that was production in HR that made her do that.
not necessarily. Honestly, I think is it
I
was
don't think so. I don't
to
think it's because of Carl.
wait.
No,
Hold on. Let me explain. Why you gotta do it like
you
that?
no.
I think honestly, the fact because she could have just pulled Casey and apologized and been done with it if that was an HR thing. I think also she didn't like the way she came off in front of the guys, so the apology was also to soften herself in front of the guys, but especially in front of Carl. That's just my personal take. You ain't got to take it or leave it. That's just my
Yeah,
personal take.
and yeah, understandable, and that's you can definitely have your opinion on it. I definitely feel like I've heard too many background interviews to I know that HR made them apologize. Just like they made them
Mm,
apologize that same night with the girls situation when they're recoupling.
mm,
Because I don't think they want Anaya to have a bad rap on that show because they are banking on her being like the people's princess type thing. Like
mm,
she's the one that has the love story that gets to come back, but you can't lose audience by being that girl trying to check somebody. That's TT. You can't be a TT. We
mm,
need you to be a Naya. We need you to be a princess,
mm-hmm.
honey. So I do think
True.
that's a bit of what it was. And I'm sure a bit of her was a little embarrassed that she acted that way. I think that is out
Mm-hmm.
of her I do feel like that was out of her character. I don't think that's how
Mm-hmm.
she would normally act at all.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
do think it's out of her character, and I think that part was real in the sense that, like, damn, that's really not how. Especially, I don't want to see this guy that I'm starting to date see me like that when
Mm-hmm.
that's not really how I am. So, because even when she
Yeah.
did it, I was like, "Ooh, Anaya, sit down, girl. What are you
Mm,
doing?"
yeah.
But I get it because I probably would have bowed up too. So,
Yeah.
and I didn't like, and then Amora for me, she really put a nail in her coffin, and maybe it softened after I watched After Sun, but I did not like the way she was talking about Melanie. Babe, you're 21 years old and you definitely fell
Here's the
for it. And you
thing. When
saw
she
everything
said
that happened. You saw everything.
exactly when she said that, oh, that would never be me,
Baby, it
ma'am.
already
It was
was.
almost you.
It
That's what you were signing up
already
for.
was.
Mm-hmm.
You really thought he was about to pick you, and you got fooled because you said you were disappointed and you were
Mm-hmm.
blindsided. So he did get you, and you saw
Yeah.
everything with your
But
own
here's
eyes.
but here's the thing, and not saying that she was wrong. She definitely wasn't going to check for Sincere ever again after what he did to her in Casa. She wouldn't have signed up for more, which is like I think what Melanie's doing. Like he apologized and everything, but she was like, okay, but she wasn't checking for him
I don't
anymore.
know if
She's
I
like, I
believe
see who
that.
you. I do.
Mm, okay.
I do. She wasn't checking. She's like, "Ooh, I'm done." She goes, "Our rejection was a blessing," and I'm like, "It sure
Baby,
was."
baby, if I ever see after Melanie and Sincere breakup, if I ever see a more in him, I'll be like, going for another round, huh, girl?
Yeah,
Okay,
I don't think she will, but
we'll see. Yeah. So there's that. Yeah. So I'll just like shut up more. You don't know what you're talking about. Naya tells Mel, yeah, I did not like the way the girls were still pushing Melanie on Sincere. I didn't like it at all.
exactly.
It was
And
very
even the
immature. It was
guys,
very like
even
telling of their age.
yeah, and the guys like, girl, that's the best two episodes. I cannot believe. I'm just like, fuck. Corbin is the only one talking real shit. Like, how you gonna have me
And low
defend
key,
Corbin?
later in the next episode, him and his girl were both talking some real shit. I was
Hmm.
like,
So, because he's just like, bro, you can't keep fucking up. And here's another thing too I did not like about Sincere in this episode is the guys were telling him, man, you keep fucking up, you keep, messing with
I
this
think I know what
girl.
you're about to say.
And he was just like, do not let her sleep in soul side. Let her take the bed and and you sleep in soul tide. And he did not do it. I was just like,
He didn't
dude,
even
you
attempt to try and like,
not
because you
even.
know what, Melanie probably would have said no, I'm okay, and and you would have been
And
still
he should
looking
have
like the good guy,
insisted.
and you would have
He
still been
should
the
have
good guy,
insisted.
even if he didn't insist, he still would have come off looking like okay, at least he offered. But you couldn't even muster up the strength to do that because in his head he's thinking, hell no, I ain't sleeping outside. Hell no.
Yeah,
And
that's
then the
crazy.
owl was really like that was really telling. I was like, oh god, the
Yeah,
owl.
I was just like, girl,
The owl is
mm-mm.
definitely a sign, girl. It's a sign. So
Yeah,
I think that's really sad because I'm just like I do think that they are going to keep this thing going for a little while. I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. So
I mean, at this point, I really do feel like they're together just so they can stay in the house.
yeah,
But eventually, I'll be like, Melanie, girl, sometimes it's not worth it.
yeah. Well, and then so
You can't keep subjecting yourself to this disrespect for what, $100,000, 50, because you got to split it
I
with
don't.
the
At this
man
point, I don't think
disrespecting
it's
you.
about winning. I think they just no. I definitely don't think they're trying to win the money. I don't think anybody really be trying to win the money because it's just $50,000. It's really not that much
Hmm.
money. Like,
Yeah.
so I don't think that's what
But
people really.
the
I think
longer
people
you
just
stay
want
in
to
the
stay because
villa,
they're having a good time.
and also the longer you stay in the villa, it creates more opportunities for you outside the villa as
Either
well.
not. No, because I guarantee you, if Trinity got voted out right now, Trinity by State would have amazing opportunities after the show. I mean, yes, because I mean, if you really look at it, the winner usually isn't the one that has the most popular. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it is. So I'm just like, yes, but once you hit like top five, you're gonna get
Hmm.
what you're gonna get. Like it is what it is. It's
Yeah.
fine. So I think they want to stay in there mostly for the experience. It's a bubble. I'm sure it's like I'm sure it's hard seeing people you've been with the last 6 weeks nonstop, talking to them all day, every day, cuddling in bed. I think that's a hard thing to just leave. I think people want to stay for the experience itself. But I
Mm-hmm.
was gonna say the Casa Girls coming off movie night, I did not like TT's attitude. She was okay. I mean, but the most mature one for me coming off that was Parmita because she was the one saying like, "Hey, I think they're confusing exploring for being dogs. Like that's not okay." And then you don't have to stop comparing women. You don't need to compare them at all. Like you can like us and not talk shit about them. So I thought that was Parmita hasn't been my favorite, but she's starting to grow on me a little bit. I think she really does have really bad broken English, though. People are saying she's stupid. I don't think she's stupid. I think she just has really bad
It's
English.
yeah,
Because she was
yeah.
born in Iran. Like she wasn't even born here. I bet you her mom and dad don't even speak English.
Maybe we don't know that particular background,
Because
but
she
who
speaks
knows?
Farsi.
Hmm.
Because in that little challenge, she was just like, maybe it'll be easier if you're speaking Farsi, and she did. So maybe that's a more
Hmm.
comfortable, kind of like Gabriel.
Yeah.
It's probably not her first language. Well, she said she barely speaks English. She said it herself. Um, Seeing it helped Casey, yeah, and I do feel like seeing the whole thing did help Casey and Sincere see themselves better. Not saying they're completely
Hmm.
fixed. Obviously, they're still young men in this
Hmm.
world, but I do feel like it will be definitely a good thing for both of them to have seen themselves in action and it played back to them and
Right.
also see the people you've hurt in the process. So I think because even
Yeah.
Casey's like he apologizes at the end of the episode, he does apologize to Anaya and pulls her
Hmm.
and Corbin even asked him like, "Are you gonna talk to her?" He's like, "I have to. Like that was so bad. Like and he says it. He says like, I feel like I just built up so much resentment after a certain amount of time, and I wasn't being honest with
Hmm.
myself and with her, and it just all came to a head. And I should never have talked about her like that. I should have been honest with my feelings. And yeah, I agree
Hmm.
because I do think that he was picking up on something real when it came to him not feeling liked by Anaya. Because I don't think Anaya really liked him. I think Anaya was playing it safe and that she did a lot of projecting onto Casey. Um,
Hmm.
but nothing it makes the disrespect okay. Because I said that before he was
Right.
disrespectful. That at the end of the day, Casey's allowed to explore. Casey's allowed to move on if this is not the
Yeah.
connection he wants to stay in. And I did feel like
Right.
Anaya made it difficult for him. But
Right.
I stopped. I drew the line at the disrespect, talking about her
Hmm.
behind her back with your boys, and comparing these women like they're toys. And somebody you really
Yeah.
knew that you probably weren't feeling anymore, and you could have done it respectfully. You could have.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. So I'm glad that that apology came. It felt like, wait was, even though my only critique of that particular apology is that he did not once the entire time he did not look her dead in the eyes to apologize. I don't know where that's coming
I
from.
think that's a maturity
Um,
thing. I think it's a
mm,
person that doesn't like to talk about their feelings very often, and when they do, they're
mm,
the type of person that has to like look down, look away. Like it's a maturity
mm,
thing. That'll get better as he gets older. When you have to actually
mm,
confront your feelings, and you actually have to take people's feelings into account, and actually take the courage to say when you're wrong. And
mm,
I'm sorry. Now I apologize. I really hate when people say I apologize. I'm sorry I'm sorry. I apologize
Hmm.
feels so formal and impersonal.
Yeah. So yeah, so we also see what else did we see
Oh,
during
we
this
see
episode?
Caleb talking about how he feels like him and Jaden have plateaued, how he doesn't feel like they're really going anywhere, and I was like, "Damn, Caleb, sorry, bro.
Yeah.
Sorry."
But then she did admit, like, she also admitted that she wasn't sure about the relationship either.
Yeah, I don't think they're
So,
either one of them are feeling it 100%. I think what you said
hmm
earlier is exactly what they're doing. They just want to stay in the villa, and to do that, they have to be coupled up. Um,
right.
you do see Anaya and Sincere talk, and Bryce pulls Melanie to talk, and both of them are talking about how they felt about the situation.
Hmm.
Where you see Anaya telling Sincere how disappointed she is, how like, yeah, you look stupid, you look foolish, it's not right, you can't treat women like that, and really like
Hmm.
even me, like you're not a good person, you're being a bad person.
Hmm.
And Sincere never makes an excuse for himself with these conversations, mind you.
He
So he
can.
knows. He knows.
He
Like you
can.
can't see
Hmm.
that and not know you're fucked up. And
Yeah.
then Bryce just pulls Melanie and just validates her feelings. Honestly, he just says, "How are you
Yeah.
feeling?" Like, yeah, you have every right. And I think he
Hmm.
tries to end it with, "But at the end of the day, I think he feels you're the one."
Yeah.
But again, the feeling, just like Melanie said, being picked is not
Yeah. And I
the
did like
prize.
like, hey,
And then
it's not
Jaden said
enough just to
something
be
good too.
picked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Jaden said
It's not
something good.
enough.
You're not choosing her, you're picking her. You're not choosing
Hmm.
her. Choosing her is
Hmm.
to choose her every time throughout
Hmm.
the experience. But when it comes down to picking, you pick her. But you're not
Hmm.
choosing her.
Yeah.
Bryce chooses Trinity. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a man that chooses somebody. Okay?
Yeah.
And honestly, I think at this point, Corbin chooses Parmita. Honestly, I think Corbin and Parmita might should go to the top.
Yeah,
I think
because
they really like each other, and
they
they're
had their
very
little
similar.
they had their conversation as well,
And I think
and I
she
like
wants to
the
get deeper with him.
and I do see that, and it's not necessarily something that's everyone else is a conversation everyone else is a part of, so there's that as well. So
Yeah,
I
and
did
it,
like their little conversation as well.
I think for whatever reason, it might be very superficial, and I think it is.
Mhm.
He
Mhm.
does like her, and I think he does respect her.
Yeah.
I'll give him that.
Yeah.
And I think he respects her because she's so attractive. But hey,
Yeah. Or
that
he thinks she's so
he
attractive.
thinks
Yeah.
she's so attractive, and then
She is,
she,
but
yeah, I get everybody up. Beauty and the eye of the beholder. So honestly, it is what it is. But then also at the same
mhm.
time, I think Corbin, and I think Corbin can learn from her. She is older than him, and maybe if he
Mhm.
does take a little guidance, he will act like less of a robot.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I'm
Absolutely.
actually down for that relationship, and
Mhm.
yeah, I think at this point it's Trinity and Bryce, Carl and Anaya,
Carlin and Naya,
then
Armida,
Corbin and Permita, and then I
Armida.
actually think Casey and TT.
Yeah.
Everybody else can go.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie.
Zach and Kay didn't need to go.
The fact that,
She needs to go
like
to.
I said, I still do hate Casey, and as far as how he acted, like I said, he apologized great, but I'm not gonna forget how he acted.
Mm-hmm.
But I will have to say, as far as compatibility, which is what we end up having to vote um,
Mind
on
you, the show's about
Friday.
America's favorite couple. Nothing to do with
Yeah,
anything else. Who does
yeah,
America love?
compatibility.
Yeah.
I will have to say, when it comes to compatibility, I think those four couples are the most compatible
Yeah. I
on
don't think
on
Melanie and Sincere should go to the end. I think they're toxic. They
they're
don't
not
need to be.
compatible.
They don't need to be a favorite couple of America because they're not a good couple.
Hmm.
Let them be all together on the outside. That's fine. Y'all found each
Kenzie,
other. Go together.
hmm
Yeah, Kenzie
Kenzie and
and
Dylan,
she's
man,
done with
you
him as
just
soon as she leaves the villa.
yeah, exactly. Because I'm just
When she
like
closed off
really
with him,
on. Yeah, I'm just like, man, the reason why you closed off with him is because um, the fact the man broke down and cried,
she was
you're
so
like,
turned
oh
off.
shit, I didn't,
She was
I,
so
she
turned off.
was,
I
and
was
she was just
too.
like, oh, okay, okay,
I was
okay, and
too. I
then
was like, what is
she
happening?
was like seen as the villain, and then once movie night happened, she knew she had to close off because she's like, I don't want to hurt anybody, bitch. That's not saying that was a bad nothing. You just should have been more open and honest. Be like, yeah, I like you,
Well, they closed
but
off before movie night, but that's because he cried. But you're right.
yeah. And I was just
And
like,
Jen was upset with her, so she didn't want people to be mad.
yeah. Well, she should have, before she even pulled Gall for that conversation, she'd be like, Jen, I'm pulling Gall for a conversation.
She should have.
Point blank, period.
She
And
should
that's
have.
what she asked for, and that's what she should have done, and she didn't. She got to hear third and fourth hand that this happened, and they're up there. Girl, before you even pull that man for a conversation, or immediately after pulling him, either after you talk to Dylan or before you talk to Dylan, your conversation should have been with Jen. So
Yeah.
there's that.
Agreed. 100%.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
then the episode ends with well, we already talked about Anaya and Casey having their apology. I like that she
Mhm.
makes that joke. You know, okay, here comes Grandma.
Mhm.
Let's make a joke.
Grandmama.
Grandmama.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then it ends with Melody and Sincere talking. He, talks about. It doesn't really end well for him on this conversation, and I think Melanie's just like, you know,
She's over it.
she's over it, but she's
She's
not over
drained.
it. Because
She's
this is
drained.
where he tells her. This is where he brings up the fact that he feels like he's a people pleaser, and she's like, with all due respect, respectfully, like, what did soul have to do with people pleasing? It feels like you were pleasing yourself, and she was right.
Yeah.
It's like
She's
she always
right.
clocks it, so that's why it's kind of like. It's one of those situations where we've all had a friend where it's like a bad relationship, but hey,
Yeah, and I
it's
think
y'all's
also this is the
relationship.
episode where her and Naya and Trinity were having a conversation. I'm not quite sure of Anaya's intentions. I'm just like, are you there because you're friends with Kate with Sincere and you're rooting for them to be there because you're friends with both? I'm still not 100% sure of her
Who?
intentions. Anaya. And
It was
then with
Hanaya and
Trinity,
Kata. It was Hanaya and Kata. Kata was just like
no,
team. She's like, why are
no,
you team since? Are you talking about the breakfast
no.
conversation? Oh,
No, when they're sitting on the chairs, those pink chairs, it was Anaya, Melanie was in the middle, and then
okay.
Trinity was on the side, and Trinity was like, "Hey, how are you feeling?
Oh
How was the
yeah, yeah, yeah.
conversation?" And she's like, "It was good, I'm not still not sure." And Trinity's like, what did she's like, "You're gonna go with your heart." And she's like, okay, just go with your heart.
Well,
And
they're
I
like, I
feel
think
I
I
have
know
an
which way
idea.
you're leaning, and they're like,
Yeah,
yeah, we think we already know, and we think you should just follow your heart, because I think they know that she's
yeah.
not done.
She's not.
I think Anaya is being fooled by KC. I think Trinity knows
Mm-hmm.
she's not done. I think Anaya is being fooled by Sincere. I think low key and somebody. I still think she wants Sincere kind of a little bit. Yeah.
Maybe a little.
It
But
might
I
be
also
like
think
if
like
if I can't
you
have him,
can't.
somebody should have him that I know.
But here's the thing, because you're all still in the villa. Um, you know that Melanie's gonna still be with Sincere. You can't go too hard on Sincere because then when they're in their good
Right.
place, you are going to be their common enemy.
Right.
You
Well,
know,
it's just
it
like it's
happens
just
all
gonna
the
they're just
time.
gonna be like they don't root for our relationship. That's what I'm saying. It's like that friend you have
Hmm.
where even if the relationship's bad, after a certain point, you have to just leave it alone. That's their
Yeah.
life,
Yeah,
and
they just don't want us to win so they can win the money is going to be the narrative they're going to spin in their heads if
what?
you go too hard on Sincere with
Oh,
Trinity. Because
oh,
people are saying that she's not being a real friend. No, she knows how this, like I said, she's still young, but she knows how this game is played.
yeah.
She knows how it is. You can't go too hard on him because when
And
they're
you
back
got to remember, I
together,
think Trinity's a lover girl, just like when she was
hmm
trying to give Casey the benefit of the doubt for so long too. And I think ultimately that's why
hmm
she was so pissed off with the whole Casey thing, because she felt bamboozled too, because she was like,
hmm
"Damn, I really kept defending this man, and look at what I'm
hmm
seeing." And I think and then that relationship's done. So you can go
hmm
in and go hard and be like, I
right,
always knew how you were treating my girl one right, not fuck yeah, and all that. But
yeah,
then with Melanie, it's this is a little different because you can
yeah.
see that relationship has a lot of feelings behind it, and it's not done.
Mm. There's no other options for
Yeah,
her.
yeah, it's not done. So yeah, that's how that episode ends. It ends with Case or sorry, Melanie and Sincere just sitting there like puppy dogs. It looks so sad. They're not
Mm.
even touching each other. They're just like
Mm.
they're both drained.
Right.
They're both drained.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
going into
But yeah.
episode 27,
Mhm.
it opens with Anaya talking with the girls. She's being the bigger person because she got Carl. Oh yeah, because she tells everybody, "Listen, I apologize to KC. I feel like he
Mhm.
deserves to be happy. Everybody deserves to be happy." And I'm just like, I believe she believes that, but I'm like, only because you're happy now. Because
Yeah.
had she not be happy, she'd be cursing that man.
If we had not sent Carl back into that villa,
She'd be
girl, who knows
cursing
what she
that
would have.
man.
Hmm.
She'd be like if
That was the
she
best.
had to go through movie night without Carl. Ooh,
Yeah, it would totally been a different story for sure.
totally different story. And good for her. I'm glad that she has Carl because it's a rough thing to see somebody talking about you like that and just knowing and
Mm.
still feeling desired and beautiful by somebody.
Right.
So
Mm.
I was happy for her. But I think there was some relief on Casey's end, of course, as well, with the boys, because like he wasn't being honest. So I put that in. Like he wasn't being honest. He admits that. And he
Mhm.
talks about the resentment part and how like it's definitely on him. And he did not
Mhm.
like seeing himself like that. And I'm glad he didn't.
Yeah,
Any thoughts on
that's
that,
good.
Mel? Okay.
Yeah, no, I totally 100% agree because I feel like he had, because you saw him on movie night where he was like covering his face, he was kind of crunched down. You can tell he was embarrassed by his actions, and
Yeah.
to be
Yeah.
able to see it in one
Yeah.
clean swoop, yeah, dude, y- like I said, he did apologize, but I think seeing it
Mm-hmm.
all in once, you're just like,
Yeah.
this was not in this girl's head.
Same thing with yeah. That's
She
what I'm
she
saying.
clocked
Casey
it
and
all.
Sincere both really saw it was very, and he says it was a mirror, and it's hard
Hmm.
sometimes to see because none of us are perfect. Like
Yeah.
and most of us, a lot of us, not most of us, a lot of us watching this show, we're
Mm-hmm.
we're mid into our 30s and 40s. So
Mm-hmm.
we've made the dumb decisions. We've
Mm-hmm.
gone with the guy over and over again. We've been with a guy who doesn't even really like us. We've been with a guy that we really don't like. Like we've all done
Mm-hmm.
those things. We just don't do it on TV. So
Yeah.
I do have empathy for the guys because I can tell that they actually feel some remorse,
Mm-hmm.
and I like that. With Corbin, again, he's that's okay. There's fuckboys out there. You just got to know when to step on those mines and when not to. So that's fine.
Yeah.
It's I'm
Mm-hmm.
totally fine with how Corbin's moving.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I really am. It's so crazy. Um,
Yeah.
and then yeah. So I don't think we talked about it. So yeah. So the next morning. Oh wait, but Caleb talks to Bryce and Trinity. Did we have already had the breakfast conversation? I think that happens later in the episode. Yeah, that's later. But Caleb talks to Bryce and Trinity and tries to get advice about his
Mm-hmm.
situation with Jaden. Jaden overhears it because she's right across the table. I was like,
Yeah.
ooh.
Dummy, at least pull him away so she can't
Yeah, I
hear.
was like, Caleb, what are you doing? It's a villa.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Right there.
completely
Not
devoid
saying
of
that it was wrong
sounds.
for him. Not saying if it wasn't wrong for him to
He
go
can
to a
have the
couple. He feels
conversation,
like,
but why have the conversation
yeah,
next to the girl you're supposed to be having the conversation with?
yeah, true.
So it's
Yeah.
funny. I can get why she was upset, and I think she was a little embarrassed as well. And
Mm-hmm.
because even in her after show, she's like, "Was I boring?" Like I think she was a little camera shy.
Mm-hmm.
I think Caleb probably was a bit camera shy as well. Because even in After Sun,
Yeah.
his personality is way better.
Mm-hmm.
I liked him on After Sun. I was like, "Oh my god!" I went and started following him on Instagram. I
Mm-hmm.
was like, "I'm gonna go follow him.
Oh.
I like him."
Oh, that's sweet.
So I went, gave him a follow. I think he's a sweet guy. I gave Jen a follow. I think she's a pretty sweet girl.
Mm-hmm.
So Caleb talks to Brittany, tries Jaden, pulls him. That gets heated. So that conversation gets heated. But again, you can just so tell Caleb's 21 years old too. He's a
And
baby.
also, I think with that whole conversation, it kind of was a little bit jarring for me, that whole conversation, because I'm just like I said, and this is an editing issue. I felt like, wait a minute, when they got back from Casa, I didn't see anything of them together in their interactions and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
other than Jaden saying, "I'm not sure. He's not the type of guy I typically go for. I like somebody more aggressive, more masculine, or whatever." However she said that,
Mm-hmm.
and then all of a sudden he's going to Trinity and Bryce saying, "Hey, I don't think she really likes me." and there was like nothing in between. I'm just like,
Yeah,
okay, how
like
are you
how can
coming
we
to this
really draw a
conclusion?
conclusion? Yeah, of what's
Yeah, so
really
I'm
going
just,
on.
and
Yeah.
they have this fight, and they have this back and forth in Say Less, and I was just like, okay, that's a little jarring for them to go back and forth. Not saying that it wasn't valid. It's
I
just
mean,
like
honestly,
it.
that whole part of the episode could have gone somewhere else. I didn't care, but
Yeah.
I figured there
Mhm.
might be some, Caleb and Jaden shippers, and overall, I think they're young. They're outside the villa now together, so that's something
Mhm.
we can talk about later. But I
Yeah.
actually get where Jaden's coming from. If they haven't had conversations about just everyday life stuff, then and Caleb's only asking her how's the connection, and he's just uncomfortable. I can see why it can get frustrating for both of them. And again, I think she says on After Sun, I just don't think we're like camera facing people, and I think it'll be easier for us to get to know each other if we can do it off camera. So I was like, maybe.
Yeah.
So she was
Yeah.
still open for the connection. So, and I really felt like he was giving her an out. So
Mhm.
I feel like she might actually be feeling him. I just think it's just not normal
Yeah.
situation. So,
Yeah.
um,
Mhm.
yeah. And then I wrote down Anaya's giving naive, rooting for sincere, but she's 23.
Oh my
So,
God, that whole I'm Team
like,
Sincere, and they
yeah,
start
I'm
having
team
that back and
sincere.
forth
I'm
and
not gonna
fighting.
change. I'm
I'm
like,
like, oh.
and then Kate is like, what about Team Melanie's feelings?
Mhm.
And so it's just like crazy how many times Melanie has to tell Anaya, I don't deserve this, and I don't think we should be rooting for this.
Mhm.
I don't know if you should be telling me to get back with him. Even she's clocking
Mhm.
it. Like, this just happened. I don't feel like I should be getting in bed with this man tonight. Like,
Yeah.
and her friends are just like, yeah, it's fine. So I don't know. Her friends are funny. Um,
Yeah.
but then Sincere makes her breakfast. She is all cheesing, and these girl Kata folds. So even with Kata, she folds. I was
Yeah. I'm
like,
just like,
just a little
girl.
breakfast, huh? That's it.
Which was literally rinse and repeat, wash, rinse and repeat on what
Well, Corey
Corey
did, but
did.
to be fair, that is the normal date on Love Island. Because what else can you do on a date on Love Island except for make them breakfast? That's all you do. Make them breakfast
Mhm.
and a spread. That's all they ever do. It's just crazy to me that it's never happened until Akasa More Boy did it in
Mhm.
this season. That's crazy that it took Akasa More Boy to let you guys know. And I wonder. I always keep wondering, does Bryce do stuff like that for Trinity? They're just not showing it. Because I feel like Bryce is a lover boy and he would do those kind of things. So I don't know.
Yeah, I do too.
So
Yeah, in fact, the
mhm.
past ever since honestly, other after they're dated, then them becoming boyfriend or girlfriend, honestly, there has been you can see them in the
Less
background, but there's been zero
Bernity
them
time.
up the
Well,
forefront.
the
Yeah.
sneak. So we're recording on a Sunday afternoon. So in my sneak peek for tonight's episode, it gives you some Bernity, but I'm like, I don't know if they can have a storyline. Sucks. But it looks like it
Hmm.
might be cute footage and stuff with them tonight. So I'm excited for
Okay.
that. So let's go to the recoupling,
Hmm.
or to the dumping. So then they get a text during the middle of the day saying there's going to be a dumping that night, or
Hmm.
recoupling with the boys choosing and the girl's gonna get dumped. So Jen's freaking
Yeah.
out. Jen definitely has her moment where she speaks her mind about how she feels like it's not her turn, how
Hmm.
it's upsetting that this experience hasn't been what she wanted it to be, how she hates that Gaul has
The
the
person that
opportunity to dump her, even though that's the person that
hmm
brought her in. Especially
that
because they
she
just
brought
had that
in. Hmm.
conversation about him like wanting to not really go there with her. So she knows
Hmm.
she knows it's coming, and so sure enough,
Hmm.
they do recoupling speeches. Listen,
Hmm.
shortest recoupling speeches in the history of Love Island. Never seen it that quick
Yeah.
ever.
And then
I
also
hated it
with
because I wanted to see
Melanie,
it.
the okay, so the that was because that went exactly the way I thought it was gonna go. And then but the
So
only
yeah,
thing that was
Bryce
stand
shit.
out was the only thing that was stand out, everything was standard and blah blah blah, whatever, whatever. The only speeches that I was interested in was Melanie and Sincere pretty much saying, "Yeah, I love this girl because she gonna no matter what I do, she gonna come back." Is pretty much how I summed up that whole speech. I'm just like, damn, even in this speech. And then
Um.
of course, Carl and Anaya got coupled up,
So let's
and I
just go
did
through it
like
really quick. Let's just go
him.
through it really quick.
I,
So
I don't want to. I don't want to
we're
go
just
through
gonna
all the couples.
we don't have to talk about them, Jillian. But again, people
Mm.
are recapping. Some people aren't watching the show, So we just gotta
Okay.
tell them. So
Yeah.
Brittany goes. Bryce goes with Trinity. Zach goes with Kada. Corbin goes with Permita. Dylan goes with Kenzie. Carl goes with Anaya. Casey goes with Tiara. Sincere goes with Melanie. Caleb goes with Jaden. And Gall goes with Amora. So then Jen is
Hmm.
dumped. And so that is 9 couples they have in that bitch. That's a lot of
Right.
people. That's,
It was a lot.
was that 18 people? That's a lot of
Hmm.
bodies. So
Yeah.
then they announced with Jen's dumping that, or did you want to talk about any other couples or?
Like I said, I did like I said, with Sincere irked me because, like I said, his speech was pretty much saying, "Hey, she will always come back to me. I love that she'll always come back to me." Is pretty much how I summed up that whole speech.
I have to go
And
back
then
and
I
watch that
did.
because I don't know if I heard it like that. I heard it
No,
like
it's
we
not
need
word
to
for word, but
build.
that's
I
how.
heard it like we got to start from scratch. That's how I heard it.
No, that's not how I interpret it. I'm just like, ooh, girl, just okay. And then also with Carl and Anaya, I did like Carl's speech because he did say,
Kick my
um,
ass out.
yeah, she kicked my ass out the villa, so making a joke, and he goes, "Revenge is sweet, but she's sweeter," and I just thought that was just super cute.
I know. And I loved how
Hmm.
Bryce was talking about their life on the outside, like meeting each other's families. And yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I wonder
that
how
was.
it's going to work
They're
because he's in
always
LA,
sweet.
she's in Virginia. So I wonder if. And
Trust and
she already
believe.
said that LA is really not her cup of tea. So we'll
Oh,
see.
damn. He's a DJ, so he gonna be in LA long. He's
He
gonna be
doesn't
traveling
have to
all over
be
the
like
world.
maybe they can go to Vegas or something together, like Nevada or something like
Or who
that in the
knows?
middle.
They'll figure it out. They'll
They
figure it out.
will.
Hmm.
Okay, because they're boyfriend and girlfriend. So then we
Yes.
have the Jen is dumped. She has her little
Mm-hmm.
package. Kenzie and her decide they're still gonna be friends. They're besties. But Jen did say on After Sun, but yeah, if she messes with my man outside of this, we're not friends. So then you have each couple. So now they have the they announced that they're going to be dumping 2 more couples. So 4 other people are leaving tonight, and they
Hmm.
say it's going to be based off of the Islanders. They get to choose 2 couples they feel are not compatible.
The least
The
compatible,
least
right?
compatible. The least
Mm-hmm.
not. Some of them just straight up not. Like
Mm-hmm.
overall, Gall and Gamora.
Amora.
Gall and Amora. um,
You're mashing their names up, damn girl.
yeah, girl, I keep doing it with Brittany too. So,
Bryce and Trinity, yeah.
yeah, I know. I just
You did it,
it's
yeah,
constant.
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
It's crazy that I switched. Anyways, so
Hmm.
then you have Anaya and Carl going first, where again everybody pretty much chooses Amora and Gall, but their other couple is Jaden and Caleb. Um,
Yeah, because I everyone voted for Amora and Gall, which
everybody.
literally,
Well,
even when they're
except for
coupled
Amora
up,
and Gall.
well, yeah, because they're not gonna vote for
I know.
themselves.
I know.
But I think with them, it was just that was a safe option, but also
They're not
because
compatible. They don't even
they're
like
not
each other.
compatible, and they were really honestly they gave more friend vibes than they did a romantic couple. So
I
that's
don't think
totally
she was even open
understandable.
to. I think they. I mean, I don't know. I feel like because definitely she definitely likes cream in her coffee, 100%.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
I don't know if she just is not attracted to him or because he definitely was attracted to her. So I'm like, I don't know. Maybe she just completely shut it down and she was just
I
like not
saw them
even
as I saw them as friends. I didn't see them as a romantic pair.
because of her.
Me personally, not just when they were talking. They just gave more friends than romantic partnership. That's
I
just
would
not
venture
saying
to.
that they are
I
not
would
like they
venture to
can be
say Bryce and
friends.
Trinity gave that in the beginning too. Well, I don't know because they did kiss,
Um, I don't know, but that's just
maybe a
my
little.
snap decision, and this is really honestly
Yeah.
they're going off based on their snap decision. We could have, I mean, if it was a compatibility issue, maybe in the beginning Bryce and Trinity would have been voted off, but we're into week, whatever week we're in now.
No, I mean obviously they're compatible
It's
because
totally
I mean
different.
compatibility is how you work together, not necessarily they have
Mm.
everything exactly the same. So
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
um,
So Gal and Amora, they got
everybody.
voted by all the other couples. So I knew they were going home for sure, but it came down to um which it was almost a three-way tie. I think
I have it.
the only standout conversation was because Dylan and Kenzie got 3 votes. Jaden and Um,
So I have it. It's so
Jaden.
Trinity and Bryce chose Jaden and Caleb. So Jaden and Caleb ended up having three because after that it was Caleb and Jaden. They chose Dylan and Kenzie. Then
Mm-hmm,
Dylan and Kenzie chose Corbin and Permita, and then that's when
mm-hmm,
Corbin and Permita have their conversation about how attractive they are, and they listen. You might think because we're so attractive we don't have anything else to talk about, but we do. So,
mm-hmm. Yeah,
that would
they're
have been
just not a part of
Permita,
this.
and Permita
Mm-hmm.
checks Kenzie at the end, and she's like, "Listen, you need to stop being so petty." Because
Yeah,
later Kenzie does apologize to her about the conversation about how she's talking about how lustful their relationship was, which I was thinking that's pretty fresh coming from you, Kenzie.
yeah,
Like I
exactly.
think it's crazy that she does not see her the way she's been acting as lustful. You literally were
Mm-hmm.
talking about how turned on you are like constantly.
Well,
So
girl, when
it's
you said
insane.
a kiss is a handshake,
Yeah, come
what?
on, girl, you're lustful. Then you have
Mm-hmm.
Permita and Corbin. They choose, and they were the only. Well, I don't know if they were the only ones. Were they the only ones?
It was Amora and Gall also chose Melanie and
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Sincere.
Because honestly, they were straight up, and she chose Sincere and Melanie, and I thought her speech was great. I thought it was
Yes.
very mature. She was just like, you can like each other, and it's clear that you guys have very strong feelings for each other, but sometimes it's just not gonna end well, and it just seems extremely toxic. And I just don't think.
Mm,
I think you deserve better. And she was mostly writing for Melanie, like, you deserve better. This man's gonna keep doing it. Like he's just like,
mm-hmm.
if she's still exploring, that means he's not sure, which means he's gonna keep
Mm-hmm.
doing it. So,
Yeah.
and she's like,
And
I
I
don't,
did.
and she's like, I can't tell you how they're not compatible, but I guarantee you they're not compatible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I actually really appreciated him more for that whole
And
entire
then
scene.
Melanie did say, I appreciate
I
that's what a real
appreciate
friend
that.
would tell
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
She said that's what a
And
real
it's just
friend would
true.
tell me. That's what my girlfriend should be
And I,
telling me. And I thought that was
yeah,
like her. She should have been like looking at an eye like,
yeah, and Kata. And I
because
think
not even because
honestly,
Kata is saying no, fuck Sincere at some points, and Trinity is saying, listen, I'm not trying to sway your decision because I know you're gonna do whatever you want. I feel like those are the precursors, but Anaya is so like team Sincere no matter what, and it's just like no matter
mhm,
what. Because she's
yeah,
just like, you keep wanting me to change my mind, but it's not going to change. Like, no matter what this man does, you're never going to choose your friend's
hmm
happiness over this man's
me,
feelings. Because that's what
yeah,
you're really doing, trying to spare this man's feelings because you know he really cares for her, but he's hurting
yeah,
her. And
hmm
she's telling you, like, why can't he just leave me alone? He's hurting me.
yeah,
That's a part that broke me
yeah,
down when Melanie was just like, why can't he just leave me alone? Because she knows she doesn't have the strength to leave him
mm,
alone right now. She knows it.
yeah,
And I think
yeah.
that hurts her.
Oh,
Yeah, Amora and
very much
Gall.
so.
We already said who they chose. Then you have Melanie and Sincere. They choose Kenzie and Dylan, and Kenzie's pissed. So I have a feeling that's going to be a fallout for tonight. I don't
Girl,
think she's
I
happy
don't
about it
give
at
a
all.
damn. She right, girl. You do not like that man.
It's not even.
Facts.
I think she likes him. I just think she. Oh, and then Dylan clocks it. He says, "Yeah, I think she likes me, but I think she also likes you, and you, and you." Like it's like
Hmm
she likes him.
hmm
The only person I felt like she was liking enough to like not mess with nobody else was Corbin, and that's because she was so
mm
sexually attracted to him. That's it.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
That's it. That was it.
Hmm
Then you have
hmm
Kata and Zach, and they basically ultimately make the final decision because they choose Caleb and Jaden because Casey and
mm
TT chose Dylan and Kenzie. So Dylan and Kenzie ended
mm
up having 3 votes. Same thing with Caleb and Jaden, and then Melanie and Sincere had 2. So Zach and Kata's vote could sent somebody
Decide
home or
could
made it a
have
3-way
been a
tie.
exactly. Which honestly, with the fact is, like I said, their edit was pretty much them saying they don't really feel like they're that into each other, and so there was the second safe choice for them, which rightfully so, compatibility wise, I'm gonna have to give it to y'all. But then I'm going to be interested to see what the whole us voting, how that will affect the Islanders once that comes in. As far as the couple, are they gonna go be a reward for the couples that is voted the most compatible,
Sometimes
or
it's
is it
they
going to be
sometimes the top couple has to choose like the person that's
damn?
dumped. Like, so it might be something where the contest that they're doing with the karaoke on this episode, the contest
Mm-hmm.
is like gonna decide like who's at the bottom, and then
Mm-hmm.
America's favorite couple gets to, or most compatible couple gets to choose the islander that's stumped. Ooh, it'd be really
Oh my
like it's
God.
been very rare where one couple decides, but it could be. But it happens a lot where the islanders choose. So I guarantee you tonight the islanders will be choosing something.
Again,
Because typically
okay.
the audience chooses something and then the Islanders
Mm,
like finalize it.
okay.
Like they have like
I
we usually it's usually the bottom from the audience's vote, and then the
mm,
Islanders choose out of those people who to dump.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, so that's where we're at right now. So total of 5 people got dumped. It's whittling it down. Next week will be the finale.
Yeah,
Next Sunday will be the finale.
yeah.
So we'll see. Like I said, I have my pretty much my top two are solidified with Trinity and Bryce, and then my consolation, my backup couple is going to be Kala and Anaya, and then the rest are they should ebb and flow. We'll see how it decides through the
Oh
end of the week before the finale. Because like I said, I'm really surprised by Corbin Paramita. I'm also surprised by Casey and TT. I'm just like, I can't even really hate y'all really are a match made in hell, but it is
yeah.
what it is.
Yeah, because I mean, honestly, because Melanie and them might be because top three is so my top three is Brinity and Brinity.
Okay, just for Melanie's mental health, they will not be touching top four for me. Because I'm
So
like, I'm not gonna put you through that. Mm-mm.
So I think
Nope.
because I really want TT and Casey to go through, but I don't think they will. Corbin and I think it's gonna be, yeah. I think this is what it's gonna be. I think because tonight the dumping is gonna be
Hmm.
a real big one. I think it's gonna be Kenzie. I think Kenzie and Dylan.
Oh yeah, Kenzie, you got to go, girl. We've been plotting against Kenzie since day one,
Yeah, I just feel
so
like
I
it's
know
this is gonna be
Kenzie.
the first dumping where it's like somebody who's been there from the beginning, and it's gonna be
Hmm.
really rough. Whoever
It's gonna be
gets out.
Kenzie for real.
I think
It's
it's
gonna
gonna
be
be
Kenzie.
Kenzie because yeah, I think
Hmm.
because Zach and I don't I think Zach and Kada are gonna definitely not make it. I don't think Casey and TT are gonna make it. And I don't think Corbin, no, sorry, Kenzie and Dylan are gonna make it. So my top
Yeah.
four: Trinity and Bryce, Carla and Anaya, Melanie and Sincere, and Corbin and Parmita. I think that's the top four.
Because I think honestly, Zach thinks he's like really him and Trinity.
They're gonna be the
I
last
think
couple
Zach
out. They're gonna be the
thinks.
last couple out. Watch.
I think that Zach thinks him and Kata are on the same level of Bryce and Trinity. I'm like, ooh, I don't think you realize how
They
people
definitely
view
do.
you.
They definitely do.
And I'm just like, it's not like that. You can see based on the fact that the only couples that did not get a single vote was Bryce and Trinity, Kata and Zach, um,
Casey and
Casey and TT,
and Carla and Anaya.
and Carla and I. Those are the 4 couples that did not. So you can see they're the 4 couples that are really running the villa and who they feel is going to be in the top. And I'm like, I don't, and
It's not
I'm
gonna end
going
up the
to
way.
be,
Yeah, yeah.
it's going to be real interesting when they realize, hey, that's not how America views their top four.
Because I'll
Hey,
be
it's not
interested
y'all.
to see if they, because it's the most compatible couple. I'll be interested to see if they rank them and show them the
Mm.
rankings.
Oh, I hope they don't. That way, nobody can feel
Well, it
like
usually
they have a target on their
happens.
back.
So, because that's what happened with Anaya last year. Is nobody
Anaya.
was this girl who won. Her and her partner won. Nobody
Her name was
was
Anaya too.
not Anaya. Amaya. Amaya. Sorry.
Oh, I'm just
Nobody
like,
was
oh,
checking for her
okay.
all season at
Mm,
all. And then they did the America's Favorite challenge, where they did like, who do you think is the America's Favorite dish? And she was like the top on everything, with Alandra being like
mm,
2 or 3. And
mm,
then yeah, so after that, apologies came Amaya's way. People were like, I really was, you know, feeling you.
mm.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just
Okay, we'll
interesting.
see what
So
happens.
it's I think it might happen, especially if they want a little drama before the end of the season.
Okay, we'll see. We'll
Okay.
see.
But yeah,
All
I wish
right.
they had an extra week because UK does 8 weeks. I wish they did 8 weeks too. But oh well.
That's a long time to commit. And you're
Yeah,
doing 5 episodes a week, so
yeah,
that's
it's
a
a
lot.
lot, but Anyways, guys, we're gonna watch tonight. We're gonna watch a new episode, and we'll be back with a new episode on Thursday for you guys. And then we'll probably do the finale since it's on a Sunday. We might want to record that Monday, Jillian, and drop it.
Mm.
So
Oh
you
yeah,
guys
for
can look
sure.
out for the finale probably on Tuesday
Hmm.
morning. But anyways, we're gonna get out of here and enjoy our weekend. We hope you guys had a happy 4th of July. Don't forget to
Hmm.
comment, like, subscribe, share our video so we can be shared in the YouTube algorithm. And we're out of here, guys. Bye.
Bye.